So today 23rd January 2026 is the auspicious day of Vasant Panchami, which falls during the Navaratri festival of January of this Magha Masam that comes in. So Magha Panchami is the Vasanta Panchami, which actually marks you can say the spring season, or the Vasanta Ritu begins from this Tithi. So now of course we have a lot of climatic changes that take place, but officially it is said that the Vasanta Ritu, the spring season, begins from this day. And it is a festival wherein all over Bharat Desha we celebrate. We already have the Makara Sankramanam, which is done, Makara Sankranti, that we celebrate. So basically the harvest season has already started. The spring season tries to, you can say, it combines along with the harvest season. You don't have rains, you don't have a very good climate for growing crops, and that's how you see today also, into whatever we do, ultimately we all need food, right? So therefore a very very important uh, time of the year is this Vasanta Ritu. And you can say usually this Vasanta Panchami will fall at the end of January, beginning of February, around that time during the Magha Masam, wherein you have almost the end of winter season and the beginning of the spring season. Moreover, there are certain stories related to this Vasanta Panchami. One is, most important is, you have the color yellow, which is very very important. Now spring season itself represents the yellow color, lot of brightness everywhere. Maybe in the winter season trees also will shed their leaves. You have new leaves that grow in, flowers everywhere, so blooming around. So very very live, positive environment. So that's how yellow is the color of positivity and brightness. So in fact, in some parts of the country, you have people who wear yellow clothes also, and they celebrate. Or maybe if you're to your own gods also, like we have Pitambaram for Krishna, Vishnu, we also decorate our gods with yellow clothes. So it is a season or a day full of cheer, brightness, and so on. Moreover, it is said that even the sowing of seeds, I told you it is the beginning of the harvest season, seeds are all sown on this day. Moreover, Vasanta Panchami also is the day wherein it is said that goddess Saraswati, she appears on this day on Bhulokam, and she, that is from heaven, from Sargalokam, Brahmalokam, you can say, when Saraswati Devi comes down to Bhulokam in the form of a river, that happens on this day, that is the Vasanta Panchami. So that is one more significance. And in fact, it is said that now in the winter also there is ice, right? Everything freezes around. So the Himalayas also, they are full of ice. But as the winter reduces a bit, it is believed that you have glaciers, right? Glaciers is that ice kind of water that keeps flowing, that all slowly starts melting, and that's how all that water goes into the Saraswati Nadi, it seems. So that is also one significance of this Vasanta Ritu. Another aspect to this season is, now in different parts of the country you have different in different ways that this festival is celebrated. It is said that it also represents the birth of Lord Kartikeya. Now how it happens is, one fine day Shiva was engrossed in tapasya. That's when we had a demon Tarakasura, who gets a boon that only Shiva's son would be able to kill him. Now why Tarakasura had taken such a boon is, he knew that Shiva is a great tapasvi. So it is very difficult for him to beget a son also, getting into the family way. So therefore, let me ask a boon. So very smartly he asks this boon, and that's when he starts troubling all the three worlds, heaven, Bhulokam, Narakam. Shiva had become a tapasvi. He was totally engrossed in meditation, and it was at that time also the Sati incident has taken place. So therefore it was very unlikely that Shiva would ever marry again. So that's when Sati Devi, she reincarnated as Parvati Devi, and she had undertaken a very severe tapasya that I want to marry Shiva. However, Shiva is engrossed in tapasya, he remains unmoved. That's when Parvati Devi very smartly sends Kamadeva, the god of love, to awaken Shiva from his Ghora tapasya. This happens on the Vasanta Panchami day, that Kamadeva, he approaches Shiva, and it seems that in Kailasam, Kamadeva creates a spring, a very illusion kind of a spring, a small water body also, in order to attract Bhagavan Shiva to bring him out of his tapasya. But as usual, Bhagavan Shiva does not wake up, but On the other hand, Kamadeva is reduced to ashes on this day. But however, later Shiva knows that all this is a Leela again. He accepts Parvati Devi as his wife, and that's how we have Kartikeya, who is born to both of them with the help of the 6 Kritikas, Ganga Devi, and so on. And finally, Tarakasura's death takes place. Moreover, on this day, on the Makar Sankranti day, we have the festival of kites. On this day, on the Vasanta Ritu also, Vasanta Panchami day, at the beginning of the Vasanta Ritu also, people in some parts of the country celebrate by flying kites also. They will even eat yellow rice. Okay, I told you everything is yellow, right? And even the Sikh community, they will also wear yellow turbans and so on. So basically, everyone celebrates the beginning of the spring season. In fact, married couples also will also visit temples wearing yellow clothes on the Vasanta Panchami Tithi. In fact, you have some people who worship the sun god on this day. So like this, there are a lot of celebrations that take place throughout this day. One more significance is we also have a Muslim community, especially the Sufi Muslims, we call them, that they also celebrate this Vasanta Panchami day, wherein it is said that in those times, around the 12th, 13th century or so, Hindu women, they used to carry yellow flowers, like I told you, to celebrate Vasanta Panchami. That's when a great poet also, a Sufi poet, he's called as Amir Khusrau, something like that, he introduces this practice of carrying yellow flowers also on this day among the Sufi Muslims, and to this day also they practice this tradition, it seems. So that's how this Vasanta Panchami is a festival that is celebrated all over India amongst all communities. Now what should we do on this day is Saraswati Puja especially needs to be done, and it is said that the Saraswati river, which had actually dried up in that time, and that's how when all those Himalayan glaciers also they start melting, that's how the flow of the Saraswati Nadi increases. A lot of plants, a lot of mustard plants were there, it seems, on the banks of the river. They keep growing. That's how you have the yellow color of the mustard flowers, which decorates the banks of the Saraswati river for many miles together, and that's how this festival represents yellow color. Moreover, on this day, like I told you, we have Saraswati Puja that is done like we do on the Vidyarambam day. So something new is learned on this day. And the Muhurtam, even to do the Saraswati Puja, is around, I think it is started 7:15 or so till about 12 in the noon, Indian time. Okay. So for people who are there outside, you can see when the Tithi comes for you and accordingly do. It is coming at any time, like some odd time or so in the middle of the night. Please do it in the morning time only. Do not do your puja at a very odd time, maybe late in the night or something like that. Look at the Tithi and you can do. Vasanta Panchami also falls during a time when it is the Abhijit Muhurta. Abhijit Muhurta is that time where you don't have to look at any other auspicious Muhurtam to do anything. Abhijit Muhurta itself is considered very auspicious. So normal as we do the Saraswati Puja, you have books can be worshipped, or if you have small children, especially school children also, for them also their books can be kept. You don't have to keep the books for an entire day also, like we do during the Sharan Navratri festival. Maybe for some time you just keep, especially all your these Bhagavatam, etc., all these books that are there, you can keep. Moreover, something new is learned on this day, like the Vidyaramam day, you go and worship your gurus. Some Dana Dharmam is done to your gurus, or in general for people who are needy. So like we do on the Vidyaramam day, similarly you have the worship of gurus that is done, because Goddess Saraswati herself is the goddess of knowledge. Moreover, you also have the Ya Kundendu Tusharahara Davala, Ya Shubhra Vastravrata, Ya Venavara Dandamandahasita, Ya Shweta Padmasana, Ya Brahmachada Shankara Prabhritivir Devai Sada Vandita, Samam Padu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jatyapaha. This shloka is chanted also. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada. On Om Saraswatyai Namaha, Om Saraswatyai Namaha, Om Saraswatyai Namaha. This Bija Mantram is also chanted 11 times, 12 times, 108 times, Yatha Shakti you can do. So these are all small things that are done on this Vasanta Panchami day. Also those who are learning some music, dance, any kind of art forms that are there, or maybe playing of the musical instruments, they are also worshipped like we do again on the Vidyarambam day. Panchami Tithi that is there gets over tonight only. So for especially anyone who cannot do things in the morning, or for people who are there outside also, even today evening, India time, also you can take this up. This time, if you see, many times it comes, but this time this tithi is there for a long time, about 5-6 hours or so. So you can do the puja whenever you want. White flowers, yellow flowers also can be can be offered to the Lord. For children or grandchildren, small children, if they are there in your family, small babies I'm talking about, for them on this day especially, if a new child has been born, you can do this. The Vidyarambha Samskaram, that is there. The first letters that are written with the rice grains, that can be done today. That is also very, very auspicious. Moreover, you also have the Saraswati Stotram, like I told you, or the Saraswati Sahasranama, all the Sahasranamavali, Archana that we do, Ashtottara Shatanamavali. Most of us, I think, we have learned that. Those who don't know, you have YouTube or the text online, you can just take that and do the Archana. Flowers are not there, you can do it with coins also. Or if that is also not possible, simply you can just chant the stotra or the 2 shlokas that I told you, or the Bija Mantram. So all these things are there especially to attain success. For those who are learning, it can be any, like we all learn shlokas, this, that together, or maybe school studies or anything, right? We keep learning something or the other lifelong. So that's how on this day, Goddess Saraswati especially is worshipped. Moreover, a lot of positivity is there all around. It is like, just as it is a beginning of the spring season, similarly it is a day for new beginnings also. All the worries, all, you can say, all negativity that is there goes away, and we begin something with a very fresh mood. So that is the significance of this Vasanta Panchami.